Hi, today I'm here to share my NIRMA interview experience with you all. So let's start. So the interview was held on 9th Feb 2023 and the allotted time was 12:15. I did not had to wait in the lobby and the interview started right away. So the interviewers first started off with theme development and my topic was conspiracy. I was given about 30 to 40 seconds to think about it and a minute to speak about it. After which, the panelists started to ask me questions. There were two male and one female panelists. So, the first female panelist asked me questions related to my subjects during undergraduation year. So, I had psychology as my elective in undergraduation. So, she asked me to explain theory given by Freud and Jung and the basic difference between the two. So, as I had read about it, I was able to answer the question. She then asked me to name any behavioral psychologist and to explain the theory given by them. So, as I couldn't recall the name of the psychologist, I started off with the theory and then I said that sorry, ma'am, but at the moment I cannot recall the name of the psychologist who gave the theory. She then gave me a hint, but still I couldn't recall it, and after which she moved on to the next question. She asked me about the ink blot test and to explain what it is. So, as I was explaining it, she interrupted me in between and said that where I can use it in real life and what does it tell about the personality of a human being. So, all of the questions revolved around it. She then asked me to name any conditioning theory and the psychologist who gave the theory. So I explained Pavlov's conditioning theory, and after which she started to ask me questions related to the other subject, which was English literature. So she asked me to explain what tragedy is and to name some plays written by Shakespeare. So, as I was mentioning the plays, I named a play called King Lear. So, she asked me to explain tragedy in that play. And as I was explaining the answer, I mentioned a word called catharsis. So, the follow up question was to explain what catharsis is. So, I answered the question, and after which the male panelists started to ask me questions. He started off with my hobbies. So he asked me what my hobbies are. So I mentioned that I have modeled for apparel and jewelry brands, and therefore it is my hobby. And he asked me the next question that who my role model is. So I mentioned that my mother is my role model. The follow-up question was, why is she your role model? So I explained it, and he then asked me what other calls did I had other than NIRMA. So I mentioned the few calls that I had, and the follow-up questions were asked by the second panelist, the second male panelist. He then said that, okay, so you belong from Pink City, right? And can you mention things that Jaipur is famous for? So I mentioned the monuments, the food, the clothes, and things like that. And then he asked me that why do I want to join NIRMA? So I had read it on the official website, the alumni base, the placement cell, and everything. And that is all I mentioned in my answer. So he asked me that there is a dip in your scores. So did you get overconfident after class 10th? So I explained it to him how I struggled with the subjects in class 11th and 12th, and therefore there was a significant dip in my scores. So he seemed pretty satisfied with my answer. So overall, if I have to say, my interview went really smooth and the questions asked were really straightforward and there was very little cross questioning. Only the female panelists emphasized on the undergraduation subjects. Other than that, the overall experience was really nice. Thank you.